John Watson takes us on a lap to see what a great Grand Prix track it was. We start at Clearways, the bend that brings us onto the start and finish straight, with the pits on the right. Then we approach Paddock Hill Bend, one of the most daunting corners in racing. Out of Paddock we plunge downhill and up Pilgrim's Rise, heading towards Druids Hill Bend, another challenge because of the way the track drops away into the natural basin that makes Brands so good for spectators. Along the short bottom straight, and then there's the fast climbing left-hander of South Bank Bend, which takes the cars off onto the long Grand Prix circuit. We're climbing all the time along here, heading up Hawthorne Hill, round Hawthorne Bend, and into the short Portobello Straight. Now we're heading into Westfield Corner. Then it's downhill again, through the right-handed Dingle Dell, and on into Stirling's, a fast left-hander. Then there's another burst of speed along the straight that leads into Clearways and off onto another lap.
The 1980 Grand Prix season began in the Argentine in January. It ends here today at Walkins Glen in New York State, with the maple leaves turning and a chilly atmosphere for Formula One after a swift dash down from last weekend's Canadian Grand Prix. It's the farewell race for last year's retiring world champion Jody Scheckter and the first race as world champion for his successor Alan Jones. And with contracts still to be agreed for 1981, everyone will be going as hard as they can to improve their position in the championship table and their chances for next year. Because behind Jones and Nelson Piquet, the two top men of 1980 whose places can't be challenged, it's still close in the championship with only 12 points spanning the next four. And it's a smoother, faster 3.7-mile lap at Watkins Glen this year for the bumpy track, which is ravaged by the bitter winter ice and snows just been completely resurfaced. And it certainly showed in practice. For Bruno Giacomelli, fastest of all for the first time in his short Grand Prix career, lapped over 2 seconds faster than last year's pole time, and for the first time since 1951, it's an Alfa Romeo at the head of the grid. There, on the left, in the red Alfa Romeo, Bruno Giacomelli with the pressure really on him. His first pole position, then Piquet, row 2, Reutemann and De Angelis, then Jones and René Arnoux, and in row 4, Pironi and Hector Ribaque in the second of the Brabhams. And now, on the warm-up lap, who better to take us round it than double American Grand Prix winner here at Watkins Glen, James Hunt.
Well, thank you, Murray. That was, of course, a long time ago. Forgotten most of that, but the circuit hasn't changed very much, and it's certainly for me, probably now with the Nürburgring gone from the calendar, the most difficult driver's track on the calendar. It provides a variety of challenges. It's probably one of the most enjoyable to drive, as long as you stay on the prepared surface. It's got a bad reputation for the barriers, which have been a bit bendy in the past, and of course some accidents. You wouldn't want to leave the track, but on it it's certainly a great challenge. The cars have just come up through the chicane now. That was a fairly recent addition a few years ago to slow the cars down onto the straight. All that weaving about that you're seeing is, as you've no doubt been told several times, is the warming up of the tyres. I don't hold with that theory that it really gets a lot of heat in that self. I think that one of these days two people are going to be on the opposite legs and we're going to see them hit each other, which will be quite fun. But an early way to finish your race before everything starts. This is the difficult, fairly fast, about fourth gear corner at the end of the main straight. The cars are doing 180 miles an hour up into that corner. They just knock it down a couple of gears. They're coming down into a slightly slower third gear left-hand corner, long 180-degree corners, all these. There's plenty of room there, but they require a lot of setting up of the car in the corners. This is a right-hand, this is a second gear right-hander uphill that they're going. Requires a lot of setting up of the car into the corner and round it. Now, of course, that the championship's over, one might be inclined to think that the drivers are going to be taking it a bit quietly, but in simple terms, I could give you a whole lot of reasons why each individual driver has his various bits of motivation for doing well in this race. But in simple terms, basically, they're all racers, and they wouldn't be in it. And quite frankly, when the green light goes on, the fact of the matter is that they can't help themselves. and which is as it should be. So all these guys will be giving it the usual 105, 110% today. The fact that the championship's dead means nothing to anybody. Piquet obviously wants to put the matter straight as far as he's concerned. Jones naturally wants very badly to underline his championship win. He'll be in a relaxed mood, and that of course very often makes for better driving with the pressure off. So they'll all be hard at it. And young Giacomelli, of course, that's his first pole position in a Grand Prix. A very good effort here. The Alfa Romeo was undoubtedly well suited to this track, because a powerful engine is definitely an advantage here, and they do have a big power advantage with over the other normally aspirated cars. So as they pull down into the last two corners, the difficult ones as they come on to finish this lap, there's a very fast left-hander followed by a nearly flat-out right-hander to come on for start-finish straight. I'll hand you back to Murray Walker to take the start.
Well, it's cold at Watkins Glen, and despite the fact that the track has been resurfaced, there's a lot of dirt on the sides of it. The drivers will have to take it very easy. 59 laps, and in the opening lap, 199 miles on the left. Pole position for the first time in his career, Bruno Giacomelli, with well over 500 horsepower. Now, watch Giacomelli, watch Piquet on the right. Away they go. Alan Jones on the left, coming up. He's right up alongside Reutemann. What a terrific start from Giacomelli. And Jones is through into second position as they go round the 90. The first turn, the right-hander. And somebody's off. That's a Williams car. That's a white car. Is it Alan Jones or is it Reutemann? If they go through, they're all... And the race car coming up at the back. But lap one, drama right at the beginning as they go up through the chicane. We'll look down the course hopefully in a minute and see who's leading. It's Giacomelli. And that looks like a Ligier behind him. It's not, it's a Brabham, it's Piquet, and Piquet trying to get through. Giacomelli cuts across, and so Bruno Giacomelli is leading a Grand Prix for the first time in his career. Nelson Piquet, the man who was so terrific in Canada, is in second position, and the third place man is Carlos Reutemann. So it must have been Alan Jones that went off on that first corner, because it was certainly a Williams car. There's Reutemann going round the right-hander in third position, the white car, and that looks like a blue and white Ligier behind it. Yes, just a flash of it there. It's Didier Pironi who is in fourth position. So lap one, Bruno Giacomelli. Right behind him, Nelson Piquet with 3 wins already this season. There's the battle for the lead. Giacomelli, Piquet in second position. Then look for the white Williams of Carlos Reutemann. There it is. There is Reutemann. Pironi behind him. Then De Angelis in fifth position in the Essex Lotus. And the first two coming up to complete lap one. And Alan Jones is definitely still in the race as they complete lap one with 58 laps still to go. But now Giacomelli is pacing it from the front. He's got a clear circuit in front of him, nothing to harass him, and he's had a lot of harassment in the past and got off a replay.
Yes, here we got the start again. Giacomelli made an absolutely perfect start. He got clean away, had to be doing 15 miles an hour virtually before anybody else had moved. Jones made a storming start in the third row. Here he comes down the inside, moving up to take a line, and we know that it was him who went off. He must have just dived in a little bit quick. He's on the dusty part of the track, and remember, of course, it's very cold weather here, and it's tough to get the tyres warm. So they'll all be sliding about a little bit more than one would expect. There's Jones on the right, off the track. De Cesaris behind him in the red Alfa. And quite a lot of sorting out. You see what a big traffic jam there is in the middle to back order of the field there as they go through. And there's Jones recovered, and he's in about 12th place, we think, there. So if he was setting off in 12th place, he's already started to move up the field there. He'll be really charging. We gather he's now up to 10th place already.
Yes, I counted them. That 22. That's Andrea De Cesaris off already, and it was De Cesaris who went off behind Alan Jones on the first right-hander. We're on lap 4 now. Alan Jones rejoined in 12th position. I counted them as they went through. There's Piquet in second position, Carlos Reutemann third, Pironi fourth, De Angelis fifth, Ribarque in sixth position, and John Watson in the McLaren in seventh place, and Derek Daly out of a race yet again. What an appalling season the Irishman's had in the Candy Tyrrell. He's had 4 terrible crashes, and now he's out of the race with the car looking okay, and Derek walking back. Lap 5 out of 59.